Hey, Life Point. Hope you guys are doing well today. John and I are back. It feels like it's been a little while since we've been
Has been a little
together.
while. Yeah.
Been a minute, as we say. And so we have been meeting like this on Thursdays, every Thursday pretty much, except for July 4th week, for about 5 months now.
Yep.
And Hangout was just really designed as a conversation, just to spend some time together with you digitally, online, because we could not meet for several months due to COVID. And so we've had a great time just talking about, you want to turn that down?
Light him down, sorry.
Yeah. Just talking about life and how we navigate this and trying to stay connected with you, with our church family during all this time. And then we introduced you to some new people within the church, and then also some ministries that happen as well. So it's been a little bit informative, a little bit of fun.
Yep.
So we hope it's been helpful for you. But like everything has a season, which we're going to do a series on Ecclesiastes coming up very soon. Everything has a season and a shelf life. And so we feel like Hangout has kind of run its course for now. So it served its purpose. Not that we would never jump back on and hang out or do videos or informal conversation. But today is our final episode.
This is it. We talked about it earlier and talked about what to title this, and I said the final episode.
That's it.
For now.
Yes.
Right?
Final countdown.
Final countdown for now.
For now, yes. Yeah. Which always leaves the door open.
It does. It does. Leaves it cracked.
Yes, you got to always end a series, with a cliffhanger. Give John a break. Oh, come on. It's his first time.
Good one.
Meaning you haven't been on here in a while?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Noob. I'm a noob.
Tutwiler, we can always count on you for comments.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's been good though. We've had an opportunity to connect, and again, that was kind of our goal from the very beginning, was to find ways to connect with our church while we weren't able to gather together. And so we had this this Thursday hangout that we could get together just to spend a few minutes fielding questions and, like you said, introducing people to new people at our church or to prospective new leaders. And we got an opportunity to do that. Got an opportunity to hang out with some people that weren't you or me.
Yeah.
And so that worked out well. Yeah, that's always good when they don't have to see us. So no, it was good. And I think it was enjoyable for us especially. And hopefully it was enjoyable for you as well.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we have said is a side benefit of the last 6 months or 7 months has been some of you stepping up and stepping forward. And so we saw some ladies step into the mental health space and do 5 or 6 videos.
Yep.
Robin was on here a couple weeks ago talking, and those ladies have done an amazing job kind of helping us navigate our mental health through trying times and times of separation, which isolation always just is a monster.
Yeah.
And so that's been good. And then Celebrate Recovery, talking about the launch of that. And then Clint Wortham with his ministry of first priority, and then his oversight of our missions, which, is we still try to do. It's just harder today because you can't meet with people or be around people as much or as free as you used to. So it's been good to introduce to some of those, and then some of the new guys that preached this summer, to have some of them on and share as well. Yeah,
I got an opportunity to hang out with our student pastor as well and our worship pastor just last week. And you get an opportunity anytime you get an opportunity to hear from people directly, especially the people that you see on Sundays and some that you don't, you get to see and hear from them directly. That's always a benefit, and I think something that benefits everybody at the end of the day.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, I hope you're doing well, man. It's been good to have you at Life Point.
Absolutely.
I know we kind of knew of each other through a mutual friendship. I don't know if we count Barry and Sheree Roberts as friends or not. No, I'm just kidding. They're some of the best people in the world. But it's been good to have you, Josh, at Life Point. Rhonda, thanks for tuning in with us as well. And then David says it was the first time here that he met Chase Chenault. And so that was really good to introduce you, like we said, to more people, because church isn't just a few people. It isn't just staff. It isn't just leadership. As we know, and we always say, our job as leadership is to teach and train for growth and maturity, and the saints to grow, to be able to serve as well. And so we're really appreciative and proud of some of you who have stepped up over these last 7-8 months and filled some of those spots and gaps.
Yeah, and the way that our church is structured, and you guys know this because you attend here for the most part. But the way that our church is structured, we have multiple services, and so it's hard sometimes to connect and to get to meet people that you don't know. And so I think it provided a nice platform for us to be able to bring people on and for them to make themselves known to people in the LP world and to get to know people a little bit better. And it's again, that's always beneficial when you have that opportunity.
Yeah. So we hope, again, it's been helpful for you. If you've got the few of you that are watching live, if you've got some favorite moments or episodes, Dave, thanks for sharing that about Chase. Yes, Cherie Roberts is a saint.
No doubt.
She's awesome. We've known her for, I guess, not as long as you have probably. I've known her for about 15 years. And so they're good people, as we say. What's up, Pipes? Yes, we are on our last episode. Good to have you, and may the force be with you as well. Always. So we did a Bible study as well, online Bible study for about 9 weeks.
Yep.
Went through the book of Philippians together, and that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And so if you guys enjoyed that, want to see that come back, that may be something we do in the future. For now, we're doing something called Midweek. If you haven't seen that, on Wednesday evenings, it comes out 6 o'clock. We do a couple songs, and then either John or myself typically will share a message devotion. And so we're doing those kind of best series now. But hopefully you've been able to catch those. They're on the app, YouTube, Facebook, really anywhere you tune in to LifePoint. Those are there and available for you. But it's just a chance, again, to really have a moment to spend some time growing together. And hopefully it's encouraging for you. That's what the midweeks really is meant for. I won't say they're not as deep, but they're more of just that, hey, let's take a moment, stop in the middle of our week, be reminded of what we do and why we do, and just to encourage you in that. And hopefully some of you had a chance to watch those.
Yeah, I hope so. It's, if you are like me and you grew up going to church, then you knew that church happened on Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. That's the way we rolled. And so, we have this long-standing tradition in the Southern Baptist world especially, where Wednesdays you go to get your refreshing.
Yeah.
You go to get that midweek refreshing. And so, we kind of channeled that idea into this midweek idea, and I think it's cool. I'd love to see more people engaged in that, and more people that are watching, because somebody mentioned here, and Cherie and Stephen Keenum said, they love the Bible study. I think that we did on Philippians, and then I bet that's Stephen, because he says, I'll also let them know that the loop starts the 26th.
Yes.
So,
and Tutwiler said a +1 for the Bible study return as well.
+1 for the Bible study. We love the Bible study. The Bible study was awesome. So if you guys loved that Bible study, tune into midweek for the time being. It brings some of that same flair. I think we dig into some stuff, not necessarily chronologically, but we dig into some good topics, some good topical discussions there, where we walk through the Bible, walk through what the Bible says about some things. We're going through a series right now called Back to Basics, where we're looking at some of the things that that we need to return to as just fundamentals in following Jesus. And so it's good stuff. And so I hope that you guys are tuning into that. If you're not, give it a shot. And if you're voting for the Bible study to come back, then we may have to revisit that.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Last night was on prayer. So back to basics. We're talking about some of the basics of the faith. So it's really good to share with friends. And we don't really push. We're not trying to promote ourselves, but it really is a good foundational series we're going through. It's 5 weeks or 6 weeks?
No, it's going to be 6 weeks.
6 weeks, that's right. I still have to do my last one.
You do,
So I get to talk about giving, which is not fun for a pastor.
That's why we gave it to you.
That's right. So if you have friends that you want to share that with, just the basics of the faith, the Bible, what faith is, prayer, and so it's just a different take to try to reach different people. And that's really our goal is, and as people, we get locked into doing things the way we want and the way that we feel is most comfortable or beneficial. And if you've been around me long enough to know, I like to do things different and realize that people are reached in different ways. And so midweek is a little bit different flair and touch on that, but it doesn't mean that we would never go through a book of the Bible in midweek either. So we may combine those in the future. Angela, glad you guys got to watch midweek. And hopefully it is, I hate to say bite-sized enough, but that you can as a family sit down and watch it in a short amount of time. We try to keep those 20-25 minutes so that you can watch it, grow, and have some conversation.
Yeah, and if they've listened to you and I preach over the years, they know it's much longer than 20 or 25 minutes for the most part, right?
That's a challenge.
So for us to lock that in to 20 to 25 minutes, we're doing pretty good. But it is snack-size, bite-size stuff, and it is some really, I think, fundamental value to it. And Gabe mentioned that he walked through prayer last night. The first week I walked through just the Bible, and the fact that there's a lot of church people that don't know the Bible. And it was really eye-opening to see that. And really that's one of the fundamental items of our faith is to be able to read God's word, because it's his instruction that he gave us from his, the word God breathed is what we think about when we think about the Bible and the word that God's given us. And so it's important to know the word. So it's just things like that. As we walk through that, we talk about worship and other aspects of the faith that we need to be strong in order to follow Jesus appropriately.
Yeah, and that series will take us through August. Then we'll start back in September with another one. So, but we may revisit the Bible study, or may combine those two. But if you do have ideas, we'd love to hear those things that you think would be helpful and beneficial in your faith. And that's really what we want to do, to teach you how to grow and equip you to do that. So Stephen did mention the Loop. If you're not familiar with our church, we have a preteen ministry that's 5th and 6th grade. I've got a kid in there, and she's really excited to be back with her friends. Coming up on the 26th, so a little less than 2 weeks away. They'll meet at Eastwood Elementary in the southeast part of Decatur on the 26th, have some fun, hang out, eat, and then they will start meeting on campus in September, 6 o'clock on Wednesday nights. And so they're really excited to have that back.
We're excited as a whole. We are starting to roll things back in, and we don't know, obviously with the volatility of everything that's going on now, we don't really know how long any of it's going to last. That's because we don't know if there's going to be a spike. We're playing this thing by ear, but we're excited to start seeing some normality come back into play. And so in line with that, don't forget that this week, right, we're bringing preschool through kindergarten back into our Sunday morning gatherings at 10:45. So if you have a preschooler or a kindergartner, and we're already servicing babies and toddlers right now. So if you've been holding out for us to offer LP Kids for preschool and kindergarten, which I know some of you have, that begins this week at the 10:45 service. And so we're going to continue to evaluate week to week, see how that goes. And not only just see how it goes, but we want to make sure, again, we want to evaluate each week to make sure that we're providing a safe environment for your children and a safe environment for you. And so we are doing that weekly to make sure that we are providing that type of environment. And so see, some people are excited about that.
The
Kenyans. So
very, very much so. He told me Sunday, he said, it's just hard. And it is. Summer, he is on a live video.
My wife's blowing my phone up. It may be something important.
Text him if you're in trouble, please.
Yes.
And I'll finish solo. But yes, we're excited to have kids. Some of the kids come back, and we do temperature checks so that everybody is safe and secure. We sanitize the downstairs area. So we're excited to have those kids come back. And it is hard sometimes to either watch at home with young kids or sit in the service with young kids. And we're a church that they're welcome anytime, but we do feel like we have great children's ministry. It's not childcare. It really is teaching them the basics of their faith too. So, and then one other thing, David said community groups. That's exactly where I was about to go. He mentioned he liked the future casting that we talked a little bit about maybe a month or so ago. So we have some things working with community groups really that have been an idea for a couple of years that we're going to start rolling out. I was hoping to do that in September, but I think we may wait till November as far as during a sermon series. But we're really challenging our people to move into 2 areas of community, either geographically, that if you live in a certain part of town or another city, that you would meet with a group in your area so that you can do ministry there and minister to one another, or by, I don't want to say affinity, that's too light, but passion, desire, that you would meet in community in that way. And David's right, community groups start in September. We do a kickoff night, August 30th, Connect Night. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're excited about that. So we're going to do that. And you guys know we've been announcing it for a couple of weeks now. Going to do that at the Circle Ranch out in Danville. And so that gives us plenty of room outdoors to be able to properly social distance. And so we're going to have some security measures in place to make sure everybody is doing that appropriately. And then everything that we do that night will be touchless, or it'll be single serve type stuff with regards to food and things like that. So we want you to feel comfortable coming out. We'll have plenty of room to be able to maneuver safely. And so we're excited to be able to show you who our group leaders are. We know this is going to be a challenging year with
Yeah,
regards to community group and COVID and how that works together, but we're excited about the challenge. And one of the things that we've challenged our staff with just here recently is we want to find opportunities in this. We don't want to consider this just a challenging time where we're forced to do ministry a certain way, but we want to see it as opportunities to do ministry a different way and reach people that are not necessarily reachable otherwise. And so we want to see everything that we do, Connect Night, community groups, the Loop, every one of these ministries that we just got through talking about, we want to have ways to do those things differently so that we're reaching a different area. I don't want to say demographic, but a different area of people that may otherwise not be reached. And so we look at it as an opportunity, and we want to continue to do that.
Yeah, and so Angela said, when we were talking about groups, she said, partner with church. The best community friends were made as we partnered with church and grew with our kids.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, we are supposed to spread the gospel, and it's not just when you and I stand on stage and preach.
No.
It's when we as people go to our communities and neighborhoods and live out the gospel in ways that are true and have kingdom impact. And then so you make friends with people in your community, and then they see your life, and you get a chance to speak into their life and draw them into a relationship with Christ. So that's our hope.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh Terry, just mentioned and commented that, he's been so touched and blessed by that men's group that they have. So one of our community groups is a men's group that meets on Wednesday nights at David Ford's house. And dude, they get into some deep stuff, and it's awesome because you have this group of guys that are going over there and they're growing spiritually through this, this community and study. And so, Josh says he can't wait to get there every Wednesday night. And that's awesome. That's what we want to see. That's what we want for our members. What we want for our people is our responsibility is to see, is to protect our people, to shelter our people, to help our people grow. But we know that you do that through community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're right. It's not just something that we do on Sunday mornings by standing up and proclaiming the gospel. We do that on Sundays as a corporate gathering, but you build relationships and grow spiritually through community. And we push that very hard here. So it's awesome to just hear Angela and Josh share their experience their testimonies of how community has affected them individually.
Yeah, I'd say Josh grows more through that than he does through what we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
I don't ever take offense to that.
No.
If somebody says I get more out of my community group than I do when I listen to you preach.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
a win.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. As long as I'm trying to preach the gospel well.
Absolutely.
That's perfectly fine with me.
Yep.
So I'm glad, Josh, that you've got that, and Angela, you and David appreciate that as well. So we're really excited about community groups, and then over the next year or two, as we kind of implement a few changes that really take us deeper into that idea. I think it's really important because the way we do ministry in church, as we said, has been affected. Mm-hmm. If we weren't ready for it, COVID made us be ready for it. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing, side note I was going to say too, is we were talking and watching another church earlier online. I really love the way churches in general have adapted.
Absolutely.
I mean, and been forced to, but have adapted more in the last 6 months than in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
It's really not. And it's just cool to see those other churches putting effort in like we are. And there's missteps, there's mistakes. And so we really appreciate the other pastors and churches in town trying to love their people and together love this city and the community.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Yeah, it's been challenging, for us as a church, as a whole, as a leadership staff, all the aspects of just leadership in general has been challenging through these times, but especially in the church. And so it's been really cool to see these other churches do things differently. And we've had an opportunity to share some time with some of these pastors and talk to them about, different aspects of what they're doing and the challenges that they've seen during this. And it's really cool to see. We're excited that, because we believe that Life Point's not the church, right?
That's
the church is the global body
mm-hmm.
of Christ. And so we love to partner with other churches. We love to see them do a ministry well. We want them to do that. We help them do that. We want to see them continue to do that. So it really is cool to see.
Yeah, and Luther Wakefield producing today, he does that a lot. He goes to other churches and helps them with tech and things like that. And so that's a really cool thing. David Ford, yes, from Destin. That is my honeymoon spot. So
see you Saturday, bro.
Eat at Dewey. That's where you are headed, right?
We're headed in that area.
Dewey Destin, the original
yes,
Dewey.
No doubt.
Not the one on the street.
On the harbor.
Yeah, the one that you gotta find the backwoods to get to.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, guys. Well, hope you've enjoyed Hangout, the 5 of you that watch every week.
It's been fun.
it's been fun for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So it's hopefully been helpful for you. And we'll see you guys Sunday as we continue our series called Changing Grace. Y'all have a great rest of your week. See ya.
See y'all.